Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today, in these uncertain times, when things are upside down and you can't get a roll of toilet paper anywhere, podcasting endures. The art form of being stuck inside anyway, and you know, not necessarily having to interact with anybody face to face. So in that spirit, we're going over to the States to talk to one of our good USA buddies. It's our mate from the mountains. It's Josh Nelson. How you going, man?
Hanging in there, buddy. Hanging in there. Hanging in there.
One day at a time.
Absolutely.
Now, I should just go off the bat very early here that people who don't know you very well, but you're a bit of a gamer. You're a game man, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, absolutely.
This must be like your Christmas, being stuck inside. You're just like, yeah, boy.
I know. There's so many of those memes. It's like, well, if you're a gamer, if you're a nerd, this is dream come true.
Yeah,
there's nothing changing.
I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah.
So is everything all a bit crazy on your side? Is everything managing to stay nice and civil?
Well, I haven't experienced it firsthand, but I mean, my wife's really into the news, and so every time something comes up, there's people getting stabbed over bottled water, and people hoarding toilet paper and canned goods, and it's just what's the deal, man?
We're just lucky that we don't have any guns in Australia. If it gets a little bit,
right,
shit escalates. We should be all right. Everybody will just start slapping each other or something. That'll be about it, really.
Now, definitely, I mean, around here, it's lines around the block for Costco and lines around the block for the gun stores. So,
oh, nice. Can't wipe your butt with a gun, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, you can try.
Yeah, see how desperately you want to do it. Yeah, it's funny now because obviously, we do this every week and stuff, and people go back and listen. Maybe in a month's time or 2 months' time, where people go back and listen to this, and it's all kind of stuff's died down. I'm like, oh, remember those times when you couldn't get a roll of toilet paper for a week or two? And wasn't that funny? Or it could have been, remember when everybody just was complaining about long lines, and then society just completely collapsed, and we don't have podcasts anymore or anything, or Star Wars.
Oh, please don't say that. That's
well, one of the things
imagine.
We should just jump off. Like, one of the things that's happened in the last week off the back of Star Wars is that Disney basically put Rise of Skywalker out early for everybody.
I know. It came out of left field. I had no idea. Like, I was actually playing video games, and our buddy Michael Condon, he goes, Rise of Skywalker's out right now, and I'm like, wait, what? And I thought it was just for different platforms, I guess. Is it out early for you guys as well?
No, but it's when it's out in Australia. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they try to make us wait a week for Mandalorian, and it's. But I mean, everybody I know, at least in our crews, either pre-ordered it anyway,
right,
or are buying it physically. Like, I'll buy the 4K. I think next week whenever it comes out. So I haven't actually watched it again yet. I've maybe this afternoon after we finish up here, I might just pop it on and put it. But that was a nice little gift from them, wasn't it?
Oh, I mean, why not? And I think they did the same thing for Frozen 2, right? They put that on Disney Plus early, and everyone was like,
oh my God. That was a big deal for us at our house, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a 4-year-old, so she was like, you can stick your Rise of Skywalker. Frozen 2 is where it's out. Although the funny thing was, it was like, oh my God, Rise of Skywalker's out. Everybody, isn't that amazing? Like, everyone's celebrating. Some people are like, I like Rise of Skywalker. You suck. I hate Rise of Skywalker. You suck. It's like, remember the good old days before pandemics when everybody just argued about Rise of Skywalker?
I know, it's so weird that the drama that's that was around Star Wars seems long gone. I hardly ever hear anybody complaining about anything except coronavirus. Yeah. It's like, except I don't know what I miss more.
When 10 minutes when it came out, people argued for about 20 minutes and then got a bit of perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, there's bigger fish to fry, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Star Wars will always be there, and I think everyone has. Hopefully, I feel like if you're a Star Wars fan, everyone has a Star Wars they like. You don't have to like them all.
No. Yeah. You could like, and like you could just like a bit of it, or not like that bit, or I don't know. I don't think there's. I don't know. Is there a Star Wars movie that I like absolutely everything about it all the way through? I don't know whether there is. Everyone always goes like, "Oh, Empire Strikes Back, it's perfect," but I'm like, there's a couple of. I'm sure there's ropey bits in that. I'd have to go back and rewatch. I don't know. I don't like picking out faults anyway. I just go with the flow.
Yeah, it just takes the fun out of it. Because then when you go and rewatch it, because I found that a little bit with Rise of Skywalker, like all of the things that I've heard, from all our good friends, the gripes, some of the small gripes. I go back and I'm like, oh, dang it, I can see that now. Oh, I can't unsee that. It's and
then you just go, well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. It's still really good, but I'll have to. I haven't watched it all on home video yet. Home video. But I'll tell you what, though.
Pop your VHS in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, though. The documentary is fantastic.
I haven't watched it. And I've purposely not watched it because I've just gone, I'll save it when I get the disc, because I've got, that whole thing of going like, all right, it's out digitally, I can get a copy of it and watch it now, watch the film. I'm like, no, I'll make sure that I save the extras for the disc, so I'm still, I've got the item, because otherwise I'll get it, like I'll buy the 4K Blu-ray and it'll just immediately go onto my shelf and just sit there and never come off, and like...
Yeah, guilty as charged. I buy the digital copy, even though I know I'm going to buy the hard copy. But
you do that. Yeah, I get ya.
But here's the thing: the new one that came out, that big Skywalker Saga box set, the big gnarly one. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Death Star on it.
So immediately, and I'm a collector, so I'm like, gotta have that. I'm probably never gonna watch the discs, even though I have a 4K player, and I bought the Blu-ray specifically for Star Wars movies. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch the physical copy, but you're right. I mean, if you have the physical copies, I think the best part about that is the extras on the discs, but just having the discs in general. I mean, how long is it going to be until Blu-ray's not a thing anymore? It's going to be all digital.
Until, hey, look, society could collapse. We all could all lose internet connection, and then all of a sudden, all that hard media that we've got, like I've got a shelf of Blu-rays over here. They might be coming very handy, later on. Like all my DVDs are gone. Like I sort of got to a point when I was moving overseas and stuff. I was like, I'll clear out the DVDs. I'll keep the Blu-rays. Now I'm just going, like I go to like a market here in Melbourne, it's like a flea market-y kind of thing, like an upscale flea market, and you can't give DVDs away. Like, there's $1 or $5 for $1, and a lot of time I'll walk past a box or someone who looks like around my age, and I'm going, oh damn, he's got like that, he's got that, that's awesome. And I'm going, this is just going to be me reselling this stuff in a few years. I'm never going to watch it. Like, I need to know for sure that society is going to collapse before I can invest in DVDs again.
Well, that's the thing, is people forget. I mean, that when you have the physical copy, as long as you have power, you've got the content. But with digital, I mean, who knows? I mean, like you're saying, if you don't have internet access, of course, there are some people who back it up, like Smarty Pants. Eric Struthers over there, he backs everything up and has tons and tons of digital copies of all the stuff.
Do you reckon he's a doomsday prepper, Struthers? Do you reckon that he's got like a, like I know he's got his attic where I've pod with Struthers before, and he's got his sort of attic office, and he's got all these toys, and there's like boxes and boxes of toys and stuff everywhere. Do you reckon if you just go under the house, there's just like a basement, and he's got like tin can, like he's just very very prepared for everything? He's like, this coronavirus will blow over, man, like nothing to worry about.
all cool, calm, and collected. Now he's definitely got at least a collection of like 6 guitars down there for sure.
Oh yeah, he's like,
you gotta have, if you're gonna survive the apocalypse. I mean, food is great and all, but you gotta have guitars, right?
His poor kids just stuck down there. His kids, he's stuck down there with his family for weeks, and they're just like, he's just like, who wants to hear this one more song? I'm like, Dad, dude.
No Stairway to Heaven one more time.
Yeah, one more time. Come on, join in. Well, do you reckon they'll ever release like Mandalorian on physical media? Like, you can't buy Stranger Things on DVD. Can you buy Stranger Things on DVD?
You can, yeah. So they actually, but I think they might have been like at Target. They have a Target exclusive packaging that kind of looks like VHS tapes. It's like the throwback. But I was thinking that too. I was like, well, because the Disney Plus shows might be the only ones that don't come out on physical medium, like in a disc form.
Well,
but
the whole thing is, like if they go, "Hey, Mandalorian season 1 on Blu-ray," chuck a few documentaries on there, everybody's gonna buy it, even though they've paid for it already.
Absolutely. Well, and they know their target audience. I mean, shit, I'm gonna go buy it. I mean,
all of a sudden you're like,
just even
damn, I should go buy that now. I should go check
just
the
to have
shops
it on
in
the
case
shelf,
it's there.
like you're saying. Yeah. I mean, even if they threw in like, some sort of exclusive, like, 3 3/4 inch figure, like release on the box set there. I mean, I would go for that for sure.
So is that big box set like the big fuck off Star Wars one, the whatever it is, the Skywalker Saga one? Is there anything new on that? Is it literally if I've got the Blu-ray 1 to 6, and then I've got the Force Awakens. I've got the 3D box one because I bought that because I wanted the director's commentary, and then I've got the 4K Last Jedi, and I'll get the 4K right. Like if I just get that box and pull out all those discs and like put them side by side, is it just the 4K transfer is the only difference? Have they just 4K'd all that stuff, or is it new behind the scenes stuff, new documentaries? Like have they said anything about that?
I don't know. I should know because I bought it. I should probably know a little bit more about what I'm buying. I just bought it because it's awesome and it's Star Wars. No, I think it's pretty much, and like I'm like you. I literally have all the copies I would ever need. I don't need the box set, right? I think there might be some extra stuff on there, and if not, the one thing I can imagine they would probably have on there that would be a documentary about the Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
because that seems fitting. If you're
like now it's done.
If you're gonna call it the Skywalker saga box set, you got to have a behind the scenes of the whole. The whole fucking journey, you know?
Well, that Empire of Dreams, documentary was amazing. Like the one that was on the DVD set, and then I got rid of all my those ones kind of went missing when I moved to England. And then it kind of turned up on YouTube and stuff. I think it's on Disney Plus now, but I found the bonus disc at a flea market and just bought it because it had it on it. And I'm just like, well, I don't need the other ones because I've got the movies and I've got the I managed to get the DVD ones that have the original cuts, the theatrical cuts on them, where it's like the laser disc rip and it's just garbage. It's like a square with a box in the middle, and they're quite hard to come by. And it's almost unwatchable. Like it's almost the worst way to watch Star Wars.
Man, laser disc, that's a deep cut right there.
Oh yeah. The funny thing about the Empire of Dreams thing, if you go back and rewatch it, which I did quite recently, a lot of the footage of the originals in it has got like a lot of the pre-altered stuff in the special editions. Like it's got a lot of it's got the original Jabba scene, it's got the original Han shooting Greedo. A lot of the shots, like a lot of the stuff that was changed in the special editions, the originals are in that documentary. So it's almost like whoever's doing it was like, I got to sneakily digitally save this vision. Because they're going, we're never going to bring out the old ones, but it's actually in this documentary in like high quality and stuff. So yeah, it's quite interesting. You go back and rewatch it. A lot of it's in there, like not everything, but a lot of it is in there, like the Mos Eisley approach and all these little odds and sods. A lot of the Death Star run and all that kind of stuff. So somebody was a bit like her.
Do you you've heard of the Harmy stuff, right? The Harmy cuts of he went back and salvaged the original, the uncut versions or the unedited versions and put them together and remastered them and such. You know about those?
Is it the despecialized editions?
The despecialized editions, yeah.
Because there's I wasn't sure because there's a dude on. I think I've got those somewhere. There's a dude on YouTube who had done his own special edition. Have you ever seen those on the original cuts where he's flip shots and he's done I can't remember the name of the guy. The stuff on there is old now. It's been up for 8 or 9 years or something. And he's sort of done his own special edition where he's flipped shots and gone and done changes to those additional ones. And yeah, I have to find out where it is. I don't know. I try not to type Star Wars YouTube too much these days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a landmine for sure.
It's just some dude in his car yelling. Yeah, I know. It's, I'll happily watch Molly and Alex, and I'll watch the Blue Bantha Milk guys, and that's about it, really. I don't, occasionally we've got some other friends who do some stuff, but yeah, I don't need to see some dude yelling in his car and things. It's just, it's too much.
Instant reaction. I hated it. It's the worst, and I can't stop talking about it even 2 years later.
I wonder how they're going at the moment.
Yeah, I get you.
I wonder if there wouldn't be much to talk about, really. Feels like Clone Wars would be pretty... Like, no one cares if you're ranting in your car about Clone Wars, do they?
I mean, some people might. I mean, I know a buddy of mine who, like, he is Clone Wars to the max.
Yeah.
Like, the prequel trilogy, is his trilogy. And so I think there's some people... But, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know if anyone cares that much.
No, not enough to,
it's
like...
great.
Yeah, have you been watching it?
I have been, yeah. It's a little slow to take off. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more bang, I guess.
I kind of thought the same thing, and then I had a chance to go back and just watch a couple of older ones. It's just the same as the older ones. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the pacing is the same. Like, it's sort of...
Yeah.
I think the expectation is that it's a bit more... Like, even something like Resistance was a bit more bang, 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 run a bit quicker and stuff. So maybe it's just that thing where you go... There was like, 7 seasons or something of it as well. So it's just...
Yeah.
People kind of go, oh, Clone Wars is awesome. And it's just like, well, maybe 2/3 of it's awesome, and there's a few plotters in there and stuff as well. So people always elevate the really good stuff.
Well, I think the one thing that I noticed that I absolutely love is the camera moves, I guess, or just the animation. I don't know. It's definitely a lot better.
Oh yeah.
And I think like Dave Filoni has this way with like just creating the story with the... It sounds cheesy the way I'm saying it, but you know what I'm saying? Like if they're, if the camera's moving through the scene and it's like really cool, and you're like, you almost forget you're watching a cartoon because it looks so, it's like, wow, this is good enough to be live action.
Someone's bought him a new MacBook or something, and they haven't they? Someone's trying to give him some more RAM, and he's just like, oh, now I can put the camera to fly through someone's legs and it'll go up. Back in
give me a new graphics card. Update me.
I'm updating. I'm not running off a 386 anymore. God, they're showing my age. Yeah. The first computer we had was a 386, which I think it had a 100 megabyte hard drive, and I think it had 4 megabytes of RAM. Megabytes, kids. Yeah. There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is showing my age right there. So, are you... Like, what are you feeling? What are you vibing re-celebration? Are you basically resigned to this ain't happening?
Oh, I don't know, man. Honestly,
have you got a pass?
I do, yeah. And I actually managed to snag that Star Wars Night, the event at the
me too.
At Galaxy's Edge.
Oh nice. Man, we could be there. I know it's going to maybe even more sad if we're not there hanging out drinking blue milk.
There's so many great people going to that event. I mean, there's great people that we all know going to Celebration, and this will be, my third, celebration, but my second one, knowing all of, our podcasting buddies, our Twitter buddies, and I loved it so much the last time I went. I'm like, man, if they postpone it and we can keep I don't know if they'll reschedule it or if they'll just cancel it and refund everybody, but I just don't want it to be one of those things where you spend so much time talking about it, getting excited, everyone's pumped up, and because I think this one, I don't know if they're going to have a whole lot to really.
Well, this is the thing. This is why postponement is probably the move, because it's not like it's going to matter if you push it back, because it's like, well, it's not like Rise of Skywalker, like right? Chicago, it's like, hey, we've got a movie coming out, we've got to drop this trailer on this date. We've got all this other stuff. We've got to hit these dates. It's all part of this schedule. Now it's like, well, awesome, we have it in August. All right, Mandalorian's going to be there, but it's not the end of the world. Like, we can go again in February, March next year. It's not really going to affect too much stuff. Like, High Republic will just be rolling. I mean, it'll be annoying because some people obviously have very specific times they can go, but for the most part, it's possible. So I think, like, a lot of stuff that's being postponed at the moment is getting postponed to the time that Celebration is on. So a lot of stuff that's on now is going, hey, we're we're looking like July, August, September. We'll be back. So I think Star Wars is just going, hey, if it looks like things are going to be okay there, we won't change anything. We'll get back. But at the same time, they'll just have to. They only got one shot at postponing as well. They can't go, hey, we're going to postpone till December. Hey, we're going to postpone till March. I think they'll have to feel safe about where they're at. But it would be a major bummer.
It would be, but if, like you're saying, I mean, postponing it as long as we're going again, and maybe we'll, if it.
Well, as long as all the
I have a feeling
and everything, and
Yeah, and I have a feeling that August things are going to calm down. I think August is going to be kind of the resting period, or we're kind of like we're getting back on track. Things are not as crazy. I mean, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't work for the CDC, so
I was like, "What do you know, dude? You got some really inside knowledge." Well, we just had our football league, our Australian rules football, which is like the biggest thing here in Australia. It's supposed to start on Thursday, so it's Tuesday afternoon here. It's supposed to start first game Thursday. It runs till end of August. Then we have finals and playoffs, whatever, in September. Then the final end of September, which is like our Super Bowl, and it's a 23-week season. And nobody has contracted any. None of the players have caught anything yet. So they're going, all right, we're going to play it in front of empty stadiums. No one's going to go, and we're going to shorten the season to 17 weeks instead of 23 weeks. And basically, we're just going to keep playing until we can't play. And if it's going to take the end of the year, we're going to just keep going as long as nobody catches it at any of the clubs.
I mean, if you're televising it, I guess that makes sense. But playing in front of an empty that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
Not being able to go to the games.
Yeah, well, we got like the biggest stadium in Melbourne is the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which seats 100,000 people. So you're going to have a 100,000 empty stadium with these blokes just running around in the middle of it. Very strange.
That's really funny.
So it's supposed to start on.
Think about.
Yeah. You're like, hey, over here. Yeah. I made the joke with Luke when Cruiser was on last week that, they could just run Celebration in August to nobody there, just like an empty auditorium. And Warwick Davis just like, hello, everybody, nobody.
Okay.
Yeah, what a bummer. There'd be no. But then, how do you get your exclusives? It's just
Well, that's the thing right there, man. The exclusives. That's a lot of people are going to lose their shit over that. I'll tell you that. It's because a lot of people go for that. I mean,
how'd you go
just for the exclusives? But I love the exclusives.
How'd you go last year? Did you score the exclusive last year?
I did, yeah. Barely though, just barely, because the whole thing was kind of messed up. Like, I mean, and it wasn't just the way that the convention was run. I think Hasbro and Funko, they continually underestimate the number of people they're wanting this stuff, and so you know what I mean. It just wasn't well run. But
did you get the lottery for them or?
Not for I think I did for because there was one for the Black Series, right?
There's one for Black,
Phantom Menace.
And you got that one, did you?
I did get. I did get those. Didn't get the Funko. I don't really care for Funko that much, to be honest with you.
Yep. Not me either.
But I probably would have just gotten it on eBay anyway after. But that's not fun.
It's not the same.
And then you get the price gouging.
Who
has time for that?
No. Well, I didn't get the lottery, but then I sort of was walking past the Hasbro booth that sort of Sunday afternoon, right when they were like, okay, we've got a few we can just give out to the public. And I just was walking past and there was like 30 people queued up. I'm like, is this the Black Series? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stand in this line. And I managed to score the Maul and the Obi-Wan, which are sitting up over there. But then nice. In the subsequent months, if legitimate sellers had them and you could get them. But I wanted it more, I'm not a completist, or I've got some Black Series on the shelf and quite a few, but I was more I want to get them because I'm here. I may never come back. I want it as the experience of going. It's not quite the same if I'd bought the exclusive after the fact. I wanted to get it in the room.
Yeah, and then I think but if you're waiting in line and you've got stuff you want to see. I think that's what's going to be nice about this celebration is that there'll be more time to hang out with everybody and just chill because there'll be less that you want to see, if that makes sense. Because there's not going to be, there's no big film release. There's, I think we might get some things about, do you think we're going to get anything on Obi-Wan or Cassian series at all? Or?
I don't think so. I know Dallas, when he was on, he seemed to think that Ewan McGregor was going to turn up. I'm like, you are kidding yourself, dude, if you think Ewan McGregor's going to turn up for nothing. To just say what? Like, well, we're going to start shooting again soon, like I promise. Nah. But if there's a postponement, I know we shouldn't really be talking about postponement until it actually happens. I think we're more likely, if it gets closer to filming. I think if they'd started rolling by the time Celebration rolled on, they'd have a panel, they'd show something, even if it's just like some B-roll of the desert or whatever, for people to just lose their shit. But I don't know. The Cassian one, maybe it's hard to tell. Like, it could just be Mandalorian, 40th anniversary of Empire, some whatever this High Republic stuff's going to be. Maybe there's another TV project that they'll announce. But I mean, there's supposed to be a movie. There's going to be a movie in 2 years, like. 2.5 years or 2 3/4 a year. Like, got to start doing something on that. You got to have somebody writing it, directing it, starring in it. These things take time, so maybe they're waiting to drop that noise.
Well, and I'm waiting for something big. You know what I mean? Because the Project Luminous was. I mean, you've heard the outpour of disappointment. It just seemed like they built it up to be this big announcement. I was really excited for it because I'd heard that it might include some video games as well.
Yep.
I think that story's going to be told in multiple mediums, but I love it. I love the idea of High Republic. It's really my bag, but could they have maybe not teased it so hard? could they just not have like edged everybody so hard? It's like, hey, by the way, Project Luminous, everybody. No, nobody. No.
I guess when you you take a step back, if you take a step back and go, hey, a whole new era of Star Wars storytelling, that is a big deal. Like, you go, oh shit, that is. Like, it actually is a big deal. But at the same time, it's like,
well, they should have just said that.
I know, but at the same time, it's like, because the information just ekes out, and then they go, oh, it's books, but it's this. It's like, because you're going, if it, like you said, if it had been High Republic and they'd been like, hey, we're doing a video game, we're doing a book, we're doing a movie, we're doing a TV series, everyone would be like, God, holy crap, because they're kind of still focusing it on this book thing, because basically, if it fails, no skin off their ass, because books are relatively cheaper to produce, And at the same time, if it's a smash, then you've got this thing that you can just pluck out of, and you've got this ground. Like, it's a smart business move to put it in the least risky medium. And if it goes to the toilet, doesn't matter. If it's huge, awesome. But yeah, like you're saying, they're hyping this thing, and yet keeping it quite narrow. But I mean, like, I know you're the video game man. Were you kind of hoping, hey, maybe some Fallen Order 2 stuff, or?
Well, not even. I just want, maybe another, because if they have this amazing opportunity, right? You're saying, to tell new Star Wars stories in a new era, and I'm not talking about a full remake of Knights of the Old Republic, but let's do something with the High Republic, and let's just, more lightsabers. Like, I'm stoked on that. I thought, and then that was what I loved about this new game, Fallen Order. Yep. All the different lightsaber customs. Are you kidding me? It's fucking awesome. So if they could do something within the High Republic era and tie in those characters that they're talking about, they're building up in this book series and comics or whatever it is, I'm all for it, man. But I'm really easy to please. Like my buddy, I think your buddy as well, our buddy Ed Bossart. We're talking, and we're going, just Star Wars is great. Like, give me more Star Wars. I'm all about it.
Yeah, and if I don't like this bit, I'll probably like the delivery. Next one. Yeah. So with Fallen Order, do you just do the one playthrough, or like, are you like, all right, I've been at this level, I got to go through it again, this harder level, I got to go through again this hard. Like, I used to be a bit more of a gamer when I had more time, but I usually have a game on the go. Like, I've got I'll pop in a game, like, but the other, like, I've just had Gears of War just on because I had a download of it. I'm like, I'll run through Gears of War again, and going, oh, okay. Yeah. But like Fallen Order, I could usually beat pretty much anything on normal difficulty, but once I've done that, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm cool. Are you kind of like, I got to get through this thing, I got to beat it a few times and, dominate this game?
Well, I'm not really a completionist, although I do get kind of OCD when I don't have certain things completed. Like, I kind of go through a little bullet list. I've never, and this is going to be crazy for people who are like, you're not a true gamer, hashtag fake fan. I have not 100% completed, I think, any large-scale game. I think, like, in terms of, like, Red Dead Redemption, never 100% that.
Oh.
Spider-Man game, never did that. And the Spider-Man game on PlayStation was easy to 100%. And when we're talking about 100%, that's when you go through and collect everything and do everything.
I came pretty close. I bought, like, I only had an Xbox One, and I wanted that Spider-Man game so badly that I bought a PlayStation just so I could do it. Well, the thing was, like, I had really, really wanted it, and then I was like, I can't buy a PlayStation. That is ridiculous to play this game. And then our friend Andy Campbell was going on holidays, and I was like, oh, he's got a PlayStation. I was like, dude, can I borrow your PlayStation? I've pre-ordered the game, and then when you get back, you can just have the game because I would have finished it by then, and you can take your PlayStation back. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, great deal. So he brought the PlayStation back around to my house, and then where I pre-ordered from was some sort of shonky eBay seller, and it just didn't turn up. Like, it didn't turn up for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it was like, and I finally got my money back, but I didn't have the game. And then Andy was coming back, and I had to give the PlayStation back. I'm like, god damn it. So I had to go, and so I ended up, and I psyched myself up so much, so I bought the PlayStation, and I bought the game anyway. So the game was awesome, but the PlayStation is sort of, because I'm an Xbox guy, it's kind of gathering dust a little bit now. But well, what do you reckon Fallen Order? Like, where do you reckon they're going to go next?
That's a good question, because I'm trying to think of where they left it. I'm kind of over. I'm kind of over that story now. Let's do something different. Because I think they wrapped up that character pretty well, and it wasn't the most interesting character. I mean, to be honest with you, I liked him.
There's a lot of these apprentices that slip through the nets, aren't there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, if you have the High Republic now, you could really tell a bona fide Jedi story, and not just the apprentice that survived Order 66, which is cool. I'm glad we got to see that. It was heart-wrenching, but let's do something new.
And I even use the same engine, like the engine and the combat's cool. Open world. Give us an open world Star Wars game again. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that's hard to put into production because of how vast it is, and just that a lot of things can go wrong with an open world game. But could you imagine the possibilities? I mean, come on. I just imagine the time that I would be losing. Yeah. I did Red Dead 2 just before. When was that? No, it was just before we had our second baby. I had Red Dead 2, so my partner was, in bed early, a lot tired. I'm going to bed, so I got a lot of time leading up, and our other child was just in bed anyway. So that was the perfect, I got free time here. I don't have to, that hit the thing right on. And now when you've got two small children, I'm like, there's no way. It would take me years to get through Red Dead 2. Every now and then I'm going, I should go back and replay it. I'm like, there is no way. There is no way. Because once you get in, you have to really dedicate the time. Yeah. You can't just... Which is Fallen... I mean, Fallen Order is great because you can revisit it just easy peasy because it's a linear story. Yeah. And, but I have a thing where I don't like hard video games. I'm kind of a filthy casual. Me too. I hate it. So frustrating. So I like the story. I'm a story guy. Yeah. Right? But, look, some of those I'm not about to go back and some of those Fallen Order bosses I had to go on to easier to get through. Like some of those. Yeah. Because I'm just I just can't spend 2 hours trying to figure this out. I've just got to I'll have a few goes, and if I can't do it, I'm just going to put the difficulty down and get on with the story. I just don't have the time. Well, because it wasn't even... And they were bloody hard. Those Inquisitors were... Well, but the thing was that the final... I mean, the main villain wasn't even as hard as the freaking Dark Jedi guy. What was his name? The guy who was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, the old dude with the abs, man.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the EU Jorah Sabai author Jarua. I don't know, in the Thrawn trilogy, but he's just some like ripped old dude, and he's harder than the main villain. And I'm going, jeez, I couldn't beat it. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go to
dumb it down. Yeah, to story mode.
Yeah, dumb it down just a little bit. Story mode, yeah. It's all well and good. I mean, you're still playing it, still having fun.
Yeah. Well, I guess just saying,
Shame.
I was playing through the Gears of War, the original, like the remaster. And I don't know how to know. Well, you know that game, but like because I'd gotten Gears 5 recently. Because I basically a lot of those ones I won't buy day one. I'll be like, oh, when it's like $30, I'll just get it and I'll play through it because I like them. You know,
Sure.
I didn't spend like $80 on release. So I played through Gears 5 and I was like, oh, geez, that was really good. I'll go back and play Gears 1. I'm going, oh, there's like. You can't change the difficulty through it. There's no like if you get shot, you're dead. There's no like recovery. No one's there to recover. I'm like, damn, this is hard. Like, you know, and the controls are a little bit more clunkier because it's the first one, you know, as opposed to the fifth one where it's all really smooth and stuff. But yeah, it's still pretty good.
You don't remember it being that hard.
No,
and you're like, wow, I must just really suck now.
Yeah,
I'm not good at all.
I've just gone soft being
like,
able to lower my my difficulty. Yeah, I look, Fallen Order. They've got a hit. Like they've got, you know, the thing is like Star Wars is sitting on a few hits. Like they're sitting on Mandalorian, which is huge. Like that is the springboard to just jump a bunch of stuff off. Like, were you in those Mando panels? Did you get any of those, or were you just sort of watching out in the?
I did. Yeah.
Were you in the arena?
That was the only. Yeah. So that was I got the Fallen Order panel. I got into that one, and then I got into the Mando panel. Nice. And the Mando panel was a big deal for me because I love me some Jon Favreau. And when I saw him come out on stage, I'm like, ooh, it's Jon Favreau.
I just watched the other night on regular TV. The original Iron Man was on, and I fell down the rabbit hole of like watching it with the commercial breaks and going, I literally have to click 3 buttons and put on Disney Plus, and I can watch this movie without commercials, but I wasn't willing to commit. You know what I mean? Like going, then I'm committing, and I'm just, you know. So I watched the first half of it, and then the other day I was like, oh, I'll go back and I'll finish watching Iron Man. And Jon Favreau was so skinny in that. It's only 10 years old. He was like thin Favreau there. But it's so funny, like the Iron Man suit is so clunky, and like it's like, it's like, oh wow, Iron Man's come a long way. But yeah, Favreau's come a long way more. But
yeah, that's true. With the help of ILM and the Lucasfilm assets, all their resources.
I think I was going to say catering.
Yeah, right, catering.
It's like nobody caters better than a Disney project.
That's what I hear. Yeah. Got to get those Mickey Mouse bagels.
So what do you, with like Mando season 2? Like, what do you reckon they're going to go? Are they going to the planet of the Yodas, or what do you got any sort of thoughts about where you reckon they'll end up? Or just happy to be sort of on the journey, man?
I try not to have thoughts at all. Because I get into trouble with that. You get high expectations. No. I think that they've got to wrap up the Baby Yoda stuff, right? Like they got to wrap that up. I think that do you think that Ahsoka's going to pop up in here? Do you think? Because I think there might be a way that you can put her in here.
Yeah, look, I'm just wondering if this is now it's a hit. This is the way through that they tell these post-Jedi, Return of the Jedi stories. So that they use this as like, hey, we can tell we can bring Ahsoka Tano in if we want to, and then we can spring her off into whatever, whether it's books, TVs, movies, we can tell that story now. Even like the Republic and all that kind of stuff, like if you're looking for, I mean, when they're sort of saying, oh, you've got to find his people, Yoda's got to find the baby Yoda's people. I assume that was Force users. So I assume that was like, well, you got to find Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is the resident Force user. Like
that's true.
I kind of when that baby Yoda turned up in that first episode, and I think on our reaction pod with the Bantha Milk guys, and everyone's just going, holy crap, like baby Yoda. I just said, like, all bets are off here. Like, don't be surprised if you see a young Luke Skywalker at the end of this picking up baby Yoda. Like, who knows what they could play. And they put young Luke Skywalker in Rise of Skywalker. Like, you don't even have to DH Hamill. You could do something. I know, but like, why not? Like, use this. You could spring off a bunch of stuff. It doesn't even have to be live action. You could spring off animated stuff, and they can't go forward at the moment. They still got this 30-year gap in between that they can mine.
But do you think that because you think like, okay, they've wrapped up the Skywalker saga, no more Skywalker, no more. No, I'm not. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's true that they're like never going to bring a Skywalker back into the fold. But do they want to bring Luke back in when they've just said, hey guys, like Skywalkers are over,
Yeah,
but
I don't think they can help themselves. But I mean, they're still running comics with full Skywalkers, like, and there's going to be heaps of shit that they're going to put through with all those characters. So I think it's just no more from this point. That is the end of the story, as you know. That's where they end up. But hey, did you know that for 10 years in between Jedi and Force Awakens, Luke Skywalker, I don't know, ran a bagel shop or did something. You know what I mean? Like he could have been doing anything. Like there's a lot of water under that bridge. So
he was going around doing a whole bunch of cool Jedi stuff. I mean,
with him and Lando are just like, he didn't seem in a major hurry to train Jedis.
Yeah, right. Well, it's probably because I don't know, he probably didn't have any young Padawans at that time yet, or maybe he was. I don't know. There's so much in between Jedi and then the start of the sequels that a lot of missing time there that they could throw in.
Oh yeah,
but I really think that they're probably going to do, because I mean if the Mandalorian doesn't even know what a Jedi is, I don't think he's going to know at all who Luke Skywalker. I mean that's a given. Doesn't know who Luke
which
Skywalker
is weird actually. I kind of thought, because like even Rey had heard of Luke Skywalker. Like, she lives in the backwoods out of nowhere 30 years later. And like she, at least whether she thinks he's real or not, she's like, well, I know the story of the Luke Skywalker, who was the son of Darth Vader. Like we all heard Darth Vader and da 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 da. So it's weird that a dude who's the Mandalorian, who supposedly, hunts down people for a living, should know a thing or two about the universe. Like lived through the Clone Wars as well. Never heard of Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
Sometimes I take that stuff. I don't take that stuff too seriously. I think that there's just because they used it for the story. They didn't necessarily, you know what I mean? So they kind of had to tell that particular story. But in my head canon, I just kind of write it off as sure. Yeah.
And the thing is, they could always just go like, "Hey, you said you never heard of the Jedi." He's like, "Well, I didn't want anyone to know." Like it could just easily. Yeah, it's like, what, am I stupid? I don't want to seem stupid, so I just I just wanted to let it go. Don't worry about it.
I was convinced that we weren't going to see any Force, any Force using at all, no Force abilities whatsoever. And man, they really flipped that narrative around. They put in a lot of Force stuff, which I'm happy with. And I think it's really cool that it's from the Baby Yoda, because who doesn't love? I mean, honestly, who doesn't love the child, man? Like,
have you got got some stuff pre-ordered? Have you?
Oh, you know it.
What do you got?
I went ahead and I got the Sideshow collectibles.
Oh, have you?
Like the real fancy ones. I got the life-size figure.
Oh my god!
With the little hair on the top. Yeah. And kind of glossy eye, like the super realistic, and it's just that with the little pouch, that just cute looking. It's just cute, man.
So when does that turn up?
And I don't have kids, but I think it's I want to say sometime next year.
Oh wow!
So it's a little ways out. Yeah.
Yeah. When we had Molly,
I have a hot.
Oh, sorry, dude. I was going to say when we had Molly from Star Wars Explained on, I think they ordered it as well. Her and Alex ordered it, and she said she was going to get the baby Bjorn and put the
take on the stroller.
Yeah,
for a nice walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had a baby. Oh!
It's Baby Yoda. That's okay. Well, these people would know what it is. Everyone knows Baby Yoda. People would think it'd be weird for about 2 seconds.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Around my community, not so much, but it's just where I live.
Is there a Black Series Baby Yoda?
Oh yeah.
So is it
got that one too? It's like super tiny, and it's got the little frog in there.
So that's the whole thing.
I think.
So it's just like in one of those like boxes with just like a tiny little baby Yoda in the bottom, and
Yep. And you're paying, I would say, a little too much. And actually, unfortunately for you folks in Australia, you pay way more than you should for Black Series.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I would just wait on that one and maybe get it on sale or something. I don't know if it ever goes on sale.
It feels like it's going to be either one of those ones where they don't make enough of them, and you won't be able to get one anywhere, and they'll be $60-$80, or they'll just be hundreds of them because they're just going, everyone loves Baby Yoda, and they're just like peg warmers everywhere.
Well, because they sort of missed the mark on that. Like because if they're releasing all this stuff in like June, July, I feel like they're now going to overcompensate and they're going to saturate the market with it. And unfortunately, I think it's a little too much too late. Because Mandalorian season 2 is coming out October or November?
Yep.
Well,
at least that's finished filming. So, like a lot of stuff's kind of been put on hold, because they're back on the old coronavirus. So at least they've got the whole thing in the can. So there'll be no competition. They're like, well, nothing else is coming out. Yeah. So Baby Yoda, everybody. People are like, hey, we can't get a roll of toilet paper. We don't really want to spend all our money on Baby Yodas.
I mean, you could. That's also something I guess you could wipe your ass with as well.
Well, the box is there's not much else. There's not much else in the box. Maybe the box is just more valuable. It's like, well, it's quite a big piece of clean cardboard here because it's there's only a very tiny little Black Series in there.
It's what world are we living in right now? It's so crazy. I just can't. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
It's weird. Like just getting back on the celebration. Like we're just. It's a long way for us to go. We're all, we've got a little group chat that we have the crew that are going over to celebration, and it's always just, all right, well, what's going on here? Is this gonna happen? What's going on here? Are we gonna be able to get over there? But I
feel like if they were gonna announce it, they would have already. You know what I mean? They almost have to because of how far
they've got more time than most. Yeah, the thing is that they've got more time because it's not till end of August. Like if it had been in the same time last year, because we were just about to hit the time. It's only a week or two before we hit the time that it happened last time.
That's true.
It would definitely would have been cancelled. It would have been cancelled by now for sure. And the fact that it came up pretty quick, like it'd only be a month out before this all sort of happened. It would have been a lot harder to get out of stuff because it's just this thing's escalated so quickly. At least here they're going, all right, well, we've probably got until June before we can have to pull the plug on it because we got June, July, August. We can that's still enough time for people to cancel their plans and stuff. So
I just wish that they would at least say something because you check the Facebook, you check their Twitter, you check.
Well, they were doing applications for stuff like the media pass applications came out, and the podcast stage applications came out, and a whole. So that as far as they're going, they're just like it's business as usual until you hear otherwise, I suppose. But I follow their Facebook group, but I always end up muting it because it's just full of stupid questions. Like I should probably unmute it just to see what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm sure it's just the same people going, "What's going on? Is this thing happening? No news is good news."
I mean, if you haven't heard anything, then you don't have to worry about it. Just let it go. Let it go. I know. But for someone that's traveling from Australia, it's probably a little bit different.
A little bit. As long as we've got enough time to cancel stuff. Like the thing is, like with flights. I think the best we can get is a credit anyway. You know what I mean? Like, if they postponed it, we could probably use the credit for next year. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I think a lot of the time you don't get refunded on a lot of stuff. And I think the accommodation, we've got an Airbnb. If we're more than a month or 6 weeks out, we get our money back anyway. So, it'd be annoying because we got a really great spot. And, if it gets postponed to next year, there's no guarantees we can get that place again. But...
Well, where are you staying right now? As of right now, if it was to go, where are you?
We're like staying? Pretty much across the road from Disneyland. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you look at a map of Disneyland and you kind of go over 4 or 5 streets, it's about a 10-minute walk from Disneyland. So, and Anaheim Convention Center is sort of next door. So it's probably like a 25-minute walk or a 5-10 minute Uber to the convention. And it's a house that's basically just made for people coming to Disneyland. It's like all themed and stuff. There's like a Frozen room, and
that's so cool.
Yeah. So we're hoping it all goes good. Have you got did you have your accommodation sorted yet, or?
Yeah. I did the whole, Airbnb thing.
Yep.
Last celebration, and that was, oh boy.
Where were you? Were you in the upstairs?
I gotta say,
were you upstairs in that house? Where were you?
Yeah, I shared a room with Dallas, so we had a bunk bed.
Oh, yep. So
and
I knew you were buzzing around the house. I wasn't sure where you were.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And that was something that I think I won't do again. So I did get I'm a Hilton Honors member, so I just got a Hampton Inn just right next to the convention.
Oh, nice.
But it'll be nice because it'll allow me to kind of like buzz around to different people's places, and I think that
everyone's going to be a lot closer this year too. Everything's a bit more tighter in. We were lucky. When we got our accommodation last time, we were in a certain spot and we had to cancel it, or it got cancelled on us, and then we found out where you guys were, where the big house was, and we just basically got something as close as possible. So even though we weren't near the convention centre, we were close to you guys. So you saw us. We just rock up after in the evenings and drink your beer and and do all that. So this year, because it's all like Disney, it's all in a pretty compact area. If you're in that radius, it won't really matter. It's not like you're coming half an hour from town. Everything's going to be sort of like 10 minutes away. So, yeah. Yeah,
it'll be nice to not have to leave, think about getting there, wake up, and then you have to worry about the hour drive almost an hour drive to the convention center in Chicago because, the traffic, and then having to go around the lake and everything else. So we had to plan accordingly. We had to get up super early if we wanted to do that.
So it's a lot all your shit in there.
We took Ubers, and I think and Luke drove. I know Luke and Eric and some others.
Yeah,
we actually drove. So
we took the train every day except snow day. We Ubered on snow day because Australians and snow don't mix. We were just like, oh my god, this is not made for us. This is hardcore.
That's right. You don't get snow at all. Right?
We do. We have.
Is there any place that gets snow?
Yeah, we have mountains that you can go skiing at. So there are ski resorts in mountain areas.
Oh, nice.
But you're not going to get snow in any of the major cities throughout the year or anything like that. I didn't see snow in a city until I moved to London. And then you're like, oh wow, it's snow. This is a winter wonderland. And then the next day it's just black sludge everywhere. Oh, this sucks. It's just it's slippery. And
snow is the worst. The worst.
I remember I got.
So
I got snowed at a football game. So yeah, I was going to say I went to a soccer game because I used to go to soccer all the time in England to see Chelsea play, and it was Chelsea Arsenal, and it was a massive game, and it was supposed to snow. And
That's a big one.
I was sitting. I always sort of sat on one side of the one stand because it was closer to the train station, so you could get out, beat the crowds. And this particular game, I was in the second row from the front. I'm like, oh, great, but I'm going to be exposed. There's no roof coverage. I thought, it's all right. It's Chelsea Arsenal. It's going to be absolutely rammed. I'm going to have 4 huge blokes either side of me. And I sit there, and there is nobody there. And it was just me, and I just got absolutely covered in snow. I was like my own little snowman. It just snows. I was like, go to halftime, go downstairs, brush all the snow off. Yeah, but I think Chicago was worse, though. I'd never seen anything like that.
It was slushy and it's windy. The thing is the wind, right? Did you go to the Cubs game?
No,
with some folks.
No, we came.
Okay,
we missed that. We saw everybody after.
You didn't miss. You didn't miss much because Wrigley Field is great. I'd love to go during the summer when it's warm.
Yeah, right.
It was blowing cold air all the way through all night long, and it was just cold and rainy. And
it's so exposed, though, isn't
baseball, it? Yeah, I don't love it that much.
Because baseball stadiums, they kind of they have the stands on sort of 2/3 of it, don't they? A lot of the time it doesn't wrap all the way around, so you've always got that wind coming. Australian stadiums, because we play in ovals, because we play cricket and Australian rules football, it's always round, so the stadium is always enclosed for the most part at most of them. So you're not going to have one end where there's a huge big wind tunnel where everything's we've got a stadium with a big roof that you can just close if it gets too cold. So.
Yeah, well, some of our football stadiums have that.
Yeah,
because we're usually playing football is usually played when it's snowing anyway.
Yeah.
So, but you still have Denver, our Mile High Stadium. We don't have a roof, because we're hardcore. We get out there and we got one of our mascots. He's not alive anymore, but
he froze to death.
He used to have the old guy. Yeah, Barrel Man, and he literally was just a naked man in a barrel.
Oh God!
And I'm pretty sure he wore something underneath, but that's the whole premise. Like that's the premise.
He's so hardcore that.
But every single game, rain or shine or snow, that dude would be out there, shirtless with no pants on. Like you'd see his, you can see it. Definitely wasn't wearing pants. He's just out there with a barrel strapped around him, just hardcore fans.
Did he ever see see them win anything?
What?
Did he ever see them win anything? Like the championship or anything? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we've won a few Super Bowls.
All right, that's good.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he went to all that trouble and never got any success or anything. There's we've got football teams here that take 50 years before they win anything, and dude, we've just flown through this time here. Before we leave it, what do you like? What's the one big Star Wars thing that you're like, this is what's happening for me the next 12 months? Like, what are you looking forward to most?
Probably because we're a little bit chaotic right now, and we're actually moving our family to Texas. So there's quite a bit of all of my Star Wars stuff is like packed away, and I'm not doing anything Star Wars related at all except Celebration. So I think Celebration's the big one, but it's just mainly to see you all, to see all your, the amazing friends that we've made through Twitter, and all the smiling faces. Hopefully,
imagine. I mean, if it goes ahead, like the thing is now, if it goes ahead, and fingers crossed it does, it is going to mean more, isn't it? Because the possibility of losing it, I think it's. I've only been to one, and it made a huge impact on the people who went from our Australian crew, obviously. But the more people I talk to, it's just like it's really going to mean more if we manage to get there now. That it'll be a special one, regardless what's on. Like they could just be, like I said, it could just be Anthony Daniels selling his book for every panel. It won't really matter.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No.
But it won't matter. It won't matter because it's the personal side of it and the camaraderie. And like you said, seeing all our friends, where it's potentially being snatched away from us. So now I'm just really hoping it happens because I'm talking it up so much. But whether even if it ends up being postponed for a little bit, it's going to be a special one.
Yeah. What about you? What's your big thing?
I think it's Celebration. Something to celebrate. I just want to know what this next movie is going to be about. Like I want a name, I want a director. Something like I don't actually really even care who it is. Like I'd love Rian Johnson to be Rian Johnson. I have a feeling it won't be. I think they're going to save him for if they really need him. Because there's so much uncertainty that they'll just like, hey, we want to bring you back out, and they just make sure to keep him happy. But it's that the movie's still the number one thing for me. So to have a knowledge that there's still something even if it's 2 or 3 years away, just go like, hey, this new Lobot movie that's coming in 2022 or whatever. All right, I can cling on to that. You know what I mean? Like everything else happens, and we've still got that. So get ready for.
Let's hope for Lobot.
Yeah, a Lobot, a Star Wars story.
That would be what an incredible movie that would be. And then you'd have Will Hood and the crew, and
you bring Lando back.
And
Somebody call Kathy Kennedy right now.
Do it.
Dude, where can everybody find you on the internet?
So on Twitter, it's just it's kind of weird to say, but it's Josh and then Tuck, because my middle name's Tucker, so Josh Tuck Nelson on Twitter. And then if you go on Facebook, if you want to catch my streams, my game streams, just look up J Nilz. That's JNILZ. That's pretty much it.
Do it, guys. So, if you're into that, everyone's going to have to spend a lot of time inside, so you might as well watch our man cutting some lightsabers or whatever. I don't even know. I have checked in one now and then. I'm like, I don't know what that game is, and then I just sort of, I barely have time to play games myself, but I know a lot of people do like that stuff. But awesome. Yeah. You can find our stuff at StarWarsSpeltOut.com. I was going to do some new merch, but I'm going to hold off on that for 2 reasons. One, basically football season is a bit weird at the moment, so all the football related stuff is going to be on hold. And also, if you've got money to spend on stuff, spend it on artists who rely on it a lot more than I do. It's just a side hustle for me. It's just fun. I don't need the money. So if you were going to have a little budget to buy some cool stuff, spend it on some creatives who might not be getting as much income at the moment as they need. So I've got to look after our creative buddies.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, dude. What a pleasure. You're going to come back on again soon?
Hey, hopefully it's an honor, man. It's an honor.
All right. When we get some,
it's a lot of fun.
When we get some game news, you can be our resident gaming contact, and
Okay.
that's all, our reporter. And well, hopefully, I will see you in person in a few months.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Look forward to it. All right. See you later, mate.
Take it easy.